Hi, my name is Bethany. Welcome to yoga. Today I will be leading you through a gentle morning yoga sequence. This sequence is designed for all levels of yoga. So if you're new to yoga, if you've been doing yoga for a set amount of time, this class is for you. The props you will need today are a mat or a sturdy place to practice. You can also use a towel if you don't have a mat. And then you have options to have blocks. You can also use books if you don't have blocks. And option to have a strap. And so to begin, we'll begin in an easy seated position. So I've chosen to sit with my legs crossed. You're welcome to place a blanket or a pillow underneath of your sits bones if that's more comfortable. If this is uncomfortable for your knees, then you are welcome to bring your feet straight out in front of you. And we will begin. So begin sitting up tall through the crown of your head. And place your hands on your belly and just begin to notice your natural breath. Option to close your eyes or find a soft gaze out in front of you. And as you inhale, you should feel your belly expand through your fingers. And as you exhale, you should feel your belly draw in towards your spine. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly draws in. Inhale. Exhale. And continue breathing at your own pace. And you're welcome to breathe in and out through your nose. Or you can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Go ahead and do 2 more rounds of breath. And on your next inhale, you can remove your prop if you're using one underneath your sits bones. And go ahead and cross your ankles. And we're going to begin doing some circles. So bringing our right shoulder over to our right knee. And then bringing our forehead in front of us. Left shoulder to left knee. And then bring your left hip to the back of the room. Your back to the center. Over to your right hip. Around to the front, and then find so as you inhale, you'll bring your body forward, and as you exhale, you'll bring your body back. And you're welcome to get your shoulders and your neck and your head involved, but we're just slowly, gently waking up the body. Okay, next time you come to center, go ahead and pause, and then reverse your rotation in the opposite direction. Again, inhaling as you bring your body forward, exhaling as your body goes to the back. Let's do 2 more circles. And then come back to a seated position, sitting up tall through the crown of your head. As you inhale, lift your gaze and your chin up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, round the spine, bringing your chin to your chest. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. Inhale, lifting your chin to the ceiling. Exhale, rounding the spine, coming into a cat back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Last time, inhale, lift. Exhale, round. And then come back to a seated position. And from here, we're going to come onto our hands and our knees into a tabletop position. So make sure that your knees are in line with your hips, that your wrists are in line with your shoulders, and you can untuck your toes. And then from here, we're going to straighten out our right leg to the side and just plant your foot into the earth as much as is comfortable. But that right leg is straight. And breathe here. You should feel a nice stretch on the inside of your thigh. And then go ahead and bring your right knee back to the mat. And now we're going to be taking our left foot out to the side, planting it into the earth as much as comfortable, but keeping that left leg straight, feeling that stretch now in our left thigh, and breathe. Pressing your palms into the earth. And go ahead and bring your left knee back to the mat. And then from here, we're just going to take our right toes back and plant them into the earth, finding a straight leg on the back of our right leg. And breathe. So now feeling a stretch along the back side of your leg and your calf. You can engage your core here. And go ahead and bring your right knee back. And now we're going to take our left toes and straighten out our left leg, finding a stretch along the back of our left leg. Palms are still pressing into the earth. And breathe. And bring your left knee back to the mat. And then from here, tucking your toes under, we're going to lift our knees up off of the mat, lifting our hips up to the sky, coming into a downward facing dog. So pressing through the palms of your hands into the mat. Modification for this pose is to take your feet as wide as you need to find more stability. And then from here, alternate bending your right knee and then your left knee. So bending right knee, straightening left, bending left knee, straightening right. And then kind of finding your own alternating pace. And then we're going to walk our hands back towards our toes, so finding a gentle bend in your knees. Fingertips are touching the earth. Soft bend in the knees, head hangs heavy. Feet are about as wide as your mat, or hips width apart. And option to take opposite hand to opposite elbow, coming into a ragdoll pose. Option to remain in stillness, or you can gently rock from side to side. Go ahead and bring your fingertips back to the earth. And on your next inhale, slowly and gently roll up to a standing position. One vertebrae at a time, and then rolling the shoulders back and coming into a standing position. And then option to have your feet about hips width apart or wider. Inhale, lifting your fingertips up and overhead. As you exhale, bringing your fingertips towards your shoulders and finding a lengthening through your chest and your chin towards the sky. Mini back bend, elbows are pointed towards the back of the room. And then inhale, bring your chin back forward, fingertips up and overhead. And then exhale, bringing your fingertips out to the side, keeping a flat back, bringing your chin to the mat. Find a soft bend in your knees and bring your fingertips to the floor. Inhale, straightening out the legs, bringing your hands to your thighs, finding a flat back. And it should feel like you're maybe pushing a pencil between your shoulder blades. Exhale, fold. Gentle bend in your knees. And on your next inhale, rising up to that mountain pose, straightening out the legs, fingertips up and overhead. Exhale, bringing your hands to your shoulders, elbows point behind you. So I call this cactusing the arms. Inhale, bringing your gaze forward, fingertips up and overhead. And exhale, swan dive. So hands come out to the side, flat back. And then gentle bend in the knees, fingertips to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, so straightening the legs, finding that pencil and squeezing it between your shoulder blades, hands on your thighs. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, hands come out to the side, standing up into that mountain pose. Fingertips up and overhead, gaze looks up, and then you draw your hands to cactus towards your shoulders. Inhale, hands come back overhead, gaze forward. And then exhale, swan dive down to a forward fold, gentle bend in your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale your fingertips up and overhead. And this time bringing your hands together. And then bringing your hands to heart center. And then from here, we're going to step into a warrior one position. So we're going to have our left foot pointed. Imagine that there is a clock around your mat. So the top is 12, the back is 6. I'm going to have you put your left foot at about a 10 or an 11 o'clock. And I'm gonna have you take your right foot and bring it to a 12 o'clock. Okay. And find a bend in your right knee. You should be able to see your toes. So your right knee is in line with your right ankle. And then your back leg is straight. And you can have your hands on your hips to make sure that your hips are in line with the top of your mat. And then if that feels good, you have the option to bring your fingertips up and overhead, coming into a full warrior one position. And then we're going to take and pivot our left toes now to a 9 o'clock hour. And then bring our right hand out in front of us, our left hand behind us, coming into a warrior two. An option to have your hands on your hips too. Engaging your core. It should feel like you're lifting up towards the ceiling. So this should feel like a very strong posture. And then we're going to pivot our right toes now to meet our left now we're facing the left side of our mat. Place your hands on your hips and inhale, lift through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, bring your chest forward and then bring your hands to the floor, coming into a wide leg forward fold. And the further out you walk your hands, the more of a modification it is. But it should feel like your weight is even in both of your feet. And as you inhale, lift up on your fingertips and find that flat back. And then exhale, fold, maybe coming into the stretch just a little bit further. And then we're going to bend our right knee, pivot our right foot to the top of the mat. So now we're kind of in a lunge position. And then plant your hands on the earth and take your right foot back, coming into a downward facing dog. And then from here, we're going to lift our left heel up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, bringing your left knee in and placing it inside of both of your hands. And then we're going to step in our right foot to a 1 or a 2 o'clock hour. And then we're going to rise up into a warrior one. So there's a gentle or a bend in your left knee. Left knee is in line with your left ankle. Your right leg, your back leg is straight. And breathe. And then we're going to take our right leg now, the 3 o'clock hour. Bring your left or your right fingertips behind you, left fingertips in front of you now, or option to have your hands on your hips. And now we are in warrior two. So remembering to engage that core and breathe. Then we're going to take our hands to our hips and we're going to pivot that right foot now to meet the left. Inhale, lifting through the crown of your head. And then exhale, diving forward, coming into that forward fold, hands on the floor. And you have the option to have your block or your prop to place your hands under too if this is more comfortable. And we're going to do a couple breaths to get into this stretch a little bit deeper. So as you inhale, kind of lifting up, finding a flat back. And then exhale, maybe coming into that stretch a little bit further. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, folding. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. And then you can place your hands on your hips, coming back up to a standing position, pivoting your left toes to the front, coming back into Warrior Two. And we're just going to bring our hands down to the mat, planting them, and then stepping back into a downward facing dog. And then from here, we're going to take our knees wide, bring our toes together, and then sit back onto your heels. Coming into a child's pose, option to have your block to place your head on. If you don't have a block, you also have the option to use stacked fists to rest your head, or you can stack your forearms, or you can take your hands out long. And just breathe here. Maybe noticing if your heart rate picked up a little bit, now allowing your heart rate to slow down, for your body to slow down. And then go ahead and lift up into a tabletop position. We're going to take our right fingertips and lift them up to the sky. And as you exhale, kind of threading your right fingertips underneath of your left arm and placing your right temple on the floor or on your prop. Coming into a thread the needle pose. Sitting your hips back. And then go ahead and bring your right hand back up. Now taking your left fingertips out to the side, reaching them out to the ceiling, and then threading your left hand now and left arm underneath of your right, bringing your left temple to the mat. And breathe. And then bring your left hand back up, coming into that tabletop. And now we're going to come onto our backs. So just get there however is comfortable. Okay. And have your feet planted into the earth. And then I'm going to have you take your right ankle and place it above your left knee, flexing your right toes up towards the ceiling. So kind of making a square with your legs. Option to stay here, Or you can draw your left foot up off the ground, clasp your hands behind your left thigh, and find a deeper stretch now in your right hip. And breathe. And then go ahead and take your left foot back to the mat. Place your right foot onto the ground. And now take your left ankle and place it above your right knee, flexing your left toes. Option to stay here or lift that right foot up off the ground and clasp your hands behind your right thigh and breathe. And then go ahead and take your right foot back to the mat. Take your left foot to the mat. And then we're going to bring our knees in. You can take them as wide or as close together as comfortable. And just place your hands on your shins. Option to stay here, or if you want to take it deeper, you can also take your hands to the bottoms of your feet and kind of open your feet up to the sky, coming into a happy baby pose. An option to remain in stillness, or you can gently rock from side to side. And then go ahead and bring your knees above your chest and just kind of hug them into your chest. And then release your legs out long, out onto the mat. Let your palms open up towards the ceiling. Let your feet relax out to the side or to the sides of your mat. And gently close your eyes, coming into our final resting posture, Savasana. Feeling the rise and the fall of your belly with each breath. And just giving yourself a few minutes just to completely relax. Letting your body melt into the floor, into the earth. As you inhale, noticing your belly rise towards the ceiling or the sky. And as you exhale, feeling your belly drop towards the earth. And begin to invite some gentle movement back into your body, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Maybe rocking your head from side to side. And then when you're ready, bringing your feet to touch the mat and roll onto one side. And remain here for just a few breaths, keeping your eyes closed. And then pressing your left palm into the earth, go ahead and come up to a seated position that's comfortable for you. And rest your hands in your lap. And the quote I would like to leave you with today is to keep peace in the mind, strength in the body, and love in the heart. Thank you for taking time today to commit to your yoga practice. And thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.